So we have the 7 more days for this SEMOS. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be an hour or 2 hours. Yeah, she's a robot. So we're gonna continue on to see what's left of the story. I think there's 6 more. 20, 21. I think 6 more, right? Wait, 20, 22, 23, 12. So 7 more. I had to use my fingers to count how many stages. Because I think 26 is the max, so 7 more to go. Part 20, a Greek tragedy. The world is a door to 1,000 ruins, desolated and cold. For those who have lost, what have you lost are long in the world. The flames of war rages along the shore. Humans, mantis fictitious, and the Perion believers all consumed by madness. The pain from the storm syndromes has bled into the sea. The flash of artillery and the glow of Arcanum collides. Dead, infected sea creatures litter the shore, like a tablet of the abstract painting.
Where are you going, 37?
Alright, wait a sec. The sightless woman inquires with concern. Under their care, the leader's bleeding has finally ceased.
Please take care of 6 for me, Madam Malta. I have to go find Sophia.
Not caring about anything else, she runs into the smoke. Gunfires and explosions fill the air. The angry battle cries of former Aperon believers, now in mantis attire, echoes in all directions. Gunfires and explosions fill the air. The angry battle cries of former Aperon believers, now in mantis attire, echoes in all directions.
Die, humans!
The explosions knocks her off balance. A pair of hands reaches out to her.
Are you alright, 37? Can you get on your feet?
Sophia!
Finally, the voice has been searching for fills her with relief. She happily reaches for her hand, but stops abruptly, uncertain.
Did you change your clothes?
She's different! Did she get, did she go to the other side?
I have found my number, 37. Your calculation was correct. As always.
You found it! That's good!
She accepts the news without hesitation, her face lighting up with a genuine smile.
I always wanted to tell you. It is a great number. The number of a herald, prophet, and pioneer. When it was first discovered, mathematics was nearly destroyed. But luckily, it also spurred advancements in the field.
She stops, no longer rambling on about numbers, and seriously gazes into her friend's emerald eyes.
we still friends, Sophia?
Sophia smiles, smiling that she is still the same, even now. She knows so much, yet she knows so little.
Yes, 37. We still are. But there are more important matters I must tend to.
A bomber howls over their heads, and pilots laugh hysterically. The plane is covered in a thick layer of paint, its wings cured and twisted.
This is ours! The land we discovered!
The pilot has followed the two targets on the barren rock below, with two explosives prepared for release. Sophia does not flinch or retreat. Instead, her fingers wrap gently around the tiny idol.
The Otocitos found.
Sophia, your power and your luck.
I must leave now, 37.
Even
Lady
her-
Arcana has shown me another path.
She joined her side!
No, no. Why are you leaving too? Is it because our circle has been broken? But I found the truth. I have the final solution. Just give me a little more time and everything will be fine again, I promise.
She closes her eyes. The scripture still lingers in her mind. There are three kinds of people who come to the Olympic Games. The lowest class is made up of those who come to buy and sell, and the next above them are those who come to compete. But the most esteemed, however, are those who come to look on. Only three wise pursuers of knowledge may release themselves from the will of birth.
You and I are different, 37. Not all of us have the privilege to look on from the sidelines.
She clenches the tiny idol. A thick tar-like substance seeps from her body. In an instant, the bombers are wiped out completely.
Sophia, you...
She can't prolong the inevitable any longer. She knows that. This is the last thing she wants.
I will join Manus Vindicte, take others with me, and leave. I will renounce the scripture and seek vengeance in the phenomenal world. Make your move, 37.
Tears roll down her eyes.
If you really are the genius who can overcome anything, prove it to me. Stop me. Transcend me. Defeat me.
Are we gonna lose our friends?
Crush me to dust.
Let's see. I'll put in. I'll put in Lucy.
Battery checked.
Are you seeking my service?
Did I start running?
We're fighting Sophia.
Why, Sophia? Why must we fight each other?
This was preordained. I am an irrational number, an obstacle in the pursuit of truth. I have accepted my fate, abandoned my scriptures, and embraced the path I should have chosen. Let neither side hold back, 37.
A moment
Loading. Charging.
Benefit from reading.
Target confirmed. Eliminate target. Thunder. Attack.
One, two. Okay, we got it.
It's newly made this. Another jar?
Loading.
Wrong.
Damage.
Counter strike.
Barrage.
What's wrong? It's wrong. Got you. Coming.
Hey Dale, thanks for coming by. How's your day?
The moment of silence.
Charging.
That's good.
I'll fill the cup for you. No, no, this is wrong.
I'm doing pretty good.
Remember, it's called lending a hand.
Trying to finish the story. They could probably then hopefully we can hop on some other game. The explosions has finally ceased. The planes rest alongside their geometric bodies in the sea, sinking into everlasting sleep. The roar of battles are no more. Hey, Courage. Well, which mode are you doing? Are you doing? Did you? I guess did you finish the story? She's still alive.
Why did you spare me,
Oh,
37?
thanks for the posture check.
Why did you show mercy? You weren't supposed to.
Thanks for the hydrate.
Because I don't want to fight you, Sophia. Why? Why do we have to do this?
Her voice is filled with anguish.
I'm sorry, 37. I have gone beyond reason. Beyond cure. I must have been out of my mind to make you fight me. Your hands were never meant for violence. They were meant for upholding the truth.
What happened? I had to go to look for the icon. Yep, that's why I have it invisible.
As for me, I'm the one who clears the dust off the path, as fate foretold. Goodbye, my beloved friend.
She no longer wavers or looks back. Her shoulders tremble, but she strides towards the mantis with determination.
It is time. Please clean up the beach as quickly as possible. We will depart soon, as Lady Arcana has instructed.
See, switch sides!
Miss Sophia!
So Sophia, why? The team is finally reunited. So let us arrives last, heaving from trying to catch up to the scene. She had her own battles elsewhere on the island. The strange dream had taken its toll on her. She now is holding her pen, silently questioning Sophia for a piercing stare. Why?
We all have our own purpose to fulfill, Miss Sinetto.
She walks past her.
I will not fight you this time. But I will draw steel the next we meet.
The new member of the Mantis Ventissus has left. They did clean up the beach. Every trace of humanity has been wiped clean. Only rocks and metal debris remains on the beach.
I don't understand any of this. The truth transcends all and is above all trivial matters of a phenomenal world. It guides us to enlightenment and protects us from evil and misfortune. Does it not? This is what I have always believed, so I went seeking for it. It is finally in my hands. But now...
There is 7 buries her face between her knees,
What
on the
went
verge
wrong?
of sobbing.
Was it my fault? Isn't this how the truth is supposed to work?
It is not an easy question for the off-island visitors. However, one thing is
The
certain.
truth has not abandoned you, 37. You haven't used the key yet, have you? It is still coded.
The key.
Lilia has verified Arcana's location. She is still on this island. We still have a chance to stop her before it's truly too late. We should go now, Sinetto. We have 15 more hours until the storm.
Moments of fate hidden between the lines. Read, a voice says, the moment of choice has arrived. A trail in the forest. A fate has been forged for this purpose. A maxim, a preconsensual, a deliberate contention, a step taken, believed to be choice. The woodland is older than all within us. Through passion or reason, travelers grope and stumble through the branches, or treads the narrow path, or choose to turn away, stepping into the subtle unknown. Read, the voices urge, if now without purpose, close to truth. Yet, let's go. Then never before has it been. Step forward, so they say. Before the tale is told, all is decided. Merchants, competitors, morals and hurls. As the feast begins, how shall they fade away? And those outside, for whom the time they had made had not yet come, those who deem themselves transcendent, are merely not in this procession. All low numbers. Alright, stage 21. A homage paid. A multitude of hands overlapped the salute, the one and only guide.
We've got signal. Zeno has restored communications with Team Timekeeper.
Very well. We will leave you to it.
She sighs with relief. Before she hangs up, she has one more question.
Just to confirm before we go, the operation Zeno is currently undertaking has been approved by the PAC Security Council, right?
The Eternal calls fall silent, as if the question is too absurd to answer.
Certainly, miss. We are soldiers. Soldiers act on orders.
This is the only part of the island untouched by war, where the foliage is thriving and the view is stunning.
I am most pleased to see you. Had you a pleasant stay on this island, Miss Vertin?
She turns around, a smile gracing her face.
Are they not an intriguing flock of people? Their wise ones drew a circle at their feet and declared themselves apart from this realm. For generations untold, they toiled as diligent ants in service of the circle, adoring and venerating it while shielding themselves from insanity's call. I take immense pleasure in admiring this wondrous figure, the primordial, eternal, immaculate circle. The more pity that it was etched upon sand.
Below, the bombed-out beach in a state of disarray.
I disagree. The fragility and impermanence of sand is precisely why people strive for something eternal. Believing in perfection is not a flaw. I noticed the human aircrafts were loaded with weapons, not from this era. Did Manus Vindictae provide them with the technology?
Arcana smiles and silently confirming the disturbing.
I can't fathom your motives. If you came here to incite hatred and recruit the pure-blood arcanists on this island, you may now walk away with satisfaction. If you wanted to take the island as one of your bases, you could have done so after the cleansing ceremony failed. But you did nothing. You just stood there. Why?
Did you finish your avatar, Panzer?
I struggle to comprehend, sweet Vertin. I was waiting for you.
Sonata and Lydia takes a step forward.
Enough talk, Vertin. It's time for action.
Mind your distance. Arcana has power over people's minds at a close range.
A pity.
She raised her arms and stone bangle still intact on their wrists. The next moment, it slides off and falls to the grass, dissolving into thin air.
I didn't wish to keep this bangle. Mine and yours, a pair in perfect match. How will you remove yours, Vertin?
The bangle burns. Oh, that's Vertin's bangle. The symbol of fate remains true to its purpose. The peace agreement is still in effect.
What? The island's been blasted to smithereens. How come the bangle still has its power? What is it made of?
Don't worry, Regulus. We have foreseen this.
The chief assistant shows no sign of worry.
When we first arrived, I was bewildered by the rules on this island. But as I learned more about their scriptures, things began to make sense. Language is an unreliable means of communication. Information can become muddled and vague wording can lead to mistakes and contradictions. That's why the island values math as a more precise and truthful language. They mock language for its ambiguity, scorn its flaws, and ruthlessly expose its inconsistencies, like they did during that debate. The pact on this bangle is of a similar nature.
I see. It forbids us from actively attacking, but what is considered an attack? The rulemaker did not specify that.
An act without the intent to attack will not be seen as an attack. That is the unspoken rule of the peace agreement.
An adorable attempt. Are you truly prepared to gamble the life of thy sworn companion, little pup of the Foundation?
Behind her, an unidentified form materializes into existence. Sonata shakes her head. Her wands remain steady.
I will not make the same mistake again, Miss Arcana. I know perfectly well what I'm doing. Your provocations will not work on me. For the peace of this world, I will stop you. Premia sereno intenso e infinito.
Now, Vertin. Show me how you have changed since last we met.
The battlefield. It transformed.
Prepare for engagement.
Arcana is dangerous. We may not be able to defeat her.
What is this one?
But right now, that's not our goal.
Relax! I've got the whole battle plan all up here in my head. I shall relegate captain duties to you for today, Vertin.
You have made new friends, aye. Have they changed you? Perhaps it's time you met my old friends. Come, they await thy greetings.
Timekeeper! Arcana has disappeared, and monsters are pouring out of the portal she created.
Huh? She's running away! Oh, that was quite the ground escape.
No, I can sense her. She's still there, looking down at us through that portal. She's waiting for something. Everyone, it's almost time. Xeno will start any minute. We need to complete our preparations as planned and force Arcana to show up.
Easy. If we finish off all her minions, there's no way she'll just stand by and watch. The big guy up there is mine. You deal with the rest. Trying to gain air supremacy? Not under my watch. I'll send that outdated hunk of scrap metal crashing to the bottom of the ocean.
Alright, let's see what this new event looks like. I guess there's like event in the event.
Dental checkup.
They're fighting in the clouds.
Charging. No worries.
Woohoo! Days up!
Charging.
Stars light the way.
Eliminate target. Barrage.
It's wrong! Wait!
Relax. No worries. It's newly made this year. Listen up. Please, don't resist. Come back to me. There they are. Unbreakable. Relax. No worries. Woohoo! Take up.
Loading.
Please, don't resist. Come back to me. Shotgun!
Target confirmed.
Hey! Ugh. Relax. We need some peaceful moments. Flight permission. Screw it. Listen up. Please, don't resist. That's the sound for a new era. Sending down signals from above.
This is just one mob, right?
Charging. Loading.
No worries. Another jar?
The light that illuminates all.
Airspace cleared. Preparing now.
And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
Manual update requests. Every 4 rounds, Leo can attack all enemies and dispel. Okay, so we didn't get to 4 rounds, did we?
Just like the battle simulations. I will not allow the tragedy in Chicago to happen again. Timekeeper, it's time I showed you what my training's been for.
Dental checkup. No worries. Another jar?
Loading. Charging.
Please, don't resist. Gotcha!
Eliminate target. Aim and shoot.
Relax. No worries. Woohoo! Dave, listen up! Come back to me. Sending down signals from above. Stars light the way. We need some peaceful moments. No worries. Woohoo! Take off! It's newly made this year. Thank you for your cooperation. Shotgun! Let's get it over quick.
Loading. Charging.
Listen up. Flight permission? Screw
Target
it.
confirmed.
Timekeeper, I've defeated the enemy. Beginning preparations now.
I remember it's called lending a hand.
I guess these are the support we get. Layla, Sonato, and who else do we have?
Be careful, Captain. It appears that some Abraxas are
Regulus.
being affected by the storm. They are attacking indiscriminately.
Alright, then don't draw their attention. Let them attack the Manus. Hey, we were so quiet. Why are they coming for us?
It seems that the storm cannot entirely change their instinct.
Dental checkup. Relax. It's newly made this year.
Loading. Charging.
There they are.
Barrage. Faraday's miracle. Loading. Charging.
Listen up.
Loading.
Woohoo! Take off.
Eliminate target.
Sending down signals from above.
No worries. Another jar?
Listen up.
Charging.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Unbreakable.
Target confirmed.
Stop.
Circuits functioning properly.
It's newly made this year.
Loading.
Flight permission? Screw
I,
it.
robot, child of science.
Finally got rid of them. Now, how am I going to deal with this?
And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
Success. Now, do we have to choose a support?
Timekeeper, the first preparation stage is complete.
Great. Next, we destroy the portal.
Marvelous, Burton. You have put on a magnificent performance. As a gesture of gratitude, I shall bestow unto you these gifts.
She just showed up of her own volition. No, something's not right. The arcane skill in that portal is fluctuating strangely.
She's casting a ritual. Burton, retreat!
No time to think.
Prepare for the final confrontation. Oh, she's pulling it out!
What is this? It has more hands than all the members of a band combined.
Timekeeper, there's a gigantic creature emerging from the portal. We must complete stage 2 as soon as possible.
We better finish it off before we start stage 3.
Copy that. This is a critical moment. Everyone stay alert and await my command.
Party in the sky and on the air. Timekeeper, please allow me to assist you.
Okay. It's been a little bit tough. So what is it's Arcana. Somehow she transformed. This is Star.
Another jar? Woohoo! Stay
Loading. Charging.
Is this creature changing its afflatus to match that of its attacker?
Ha! A mimic strategy. Clever. But we can also use it to our advantage.
Yep.
Everyone, rotate your arcane skills. Make sure we always have the stronger afflatus. Let's teach it a lesson in improvisation.
Unbreakable!
Eliminate target. Aim and shoot.
Mountain. Do we have mountains? What can we do?
It's newly made this year.
Star.
Listen up. Another jar? Woohoo! Stay up. There they are. Sending down signals from above. Enjoy! Shotgun! Got you. Ugh.
Relax.
Listen up.
Loading.
It's newly made this year.
I smell the scent of mint.
Unbreakable.
Faraday's miracle.
You don't want to miss it. Ouch.
Shell damaged.
Timekeeper, the enemy's ritual has altered the environment. Please be careful.
Wait, I didn't know we could choose, Oh, I didn't know we could choose before. Mountain, so we need stars.
Charging.
Like the mission.
Please, don't resist. Target confirmed. Under attack.
New era.
Where's my heals? Let's see, heals. Or we're close to. Okay.
Circuits functioning properly. Robot, child of science.
It's like what instructions?
The creature is defeated and Arcana has emerged once again. Timekeeper, stage 2 is complete.
Cool! Now, we just have to activate it.
No. Things are going too well. Like this has been rehearsed. What on earth is she trying to do?
There's no time! Vereinsamt!
You're right. We've put too much time and effort into this plan to not carry it out now. Sinetto, Lilia, Regulus, assume your positions. It's time to enact the final stage.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
The ship sways gently in the waves. It is set for the new world, and there's no turning back. She hasn't spoken a word since they sailed. The situation is final, and the board is set. There's nothing for her to do but stay silent.
Miss Sophia. Is the guiding one really not coming with us? She...
She doesn't answer, absent-mindedly caressing the tiny idol. She still remembers the moment she received it.
Are you saying?
Fret not, my child. You heard me true. I shall die today.
Is that when she pulls the thing out of her head?
Timekeeper, location Alpha is ready for the ritual.
Location Beta, ready.
Mr. Apple and I are ready.
Good.
This is not a preparation for attack. At least not for an attack here.
Requesting to use the advanced arcane skill Apparoya Round. Number 000262603100008.
Who remembers that
To
skill?
teleport a top priority threat to the Parmenides base.
The glow of the ritual envelops Arcana.
Loosen up and enjoy the ride.
Where did she get sent off to?
Bye.
Bye. I wonder where she went. It didn't seem like she died. She just got teleported.
Starting countdown. 30, 29, 28.
The target has not reached the designated location. I repeat, the target has...
15.
Is this a generator? I'm a general?
Large-scale arcane ritual detected. Apparoya round verified. Life signal detected. Target is in position. Initiating detonation.
6, 5.
What? Is it
4,
missile or a nuke?
2, 1.
Oh, it's a nuke.
Vacuum bomb detonated.
No arcane energy detected. No life signal detected. Target eliminated. I repeat, the target has been eliminated.
We did it. We actually did it. Admiral, Hans, we made up for what we didn't do in 99.
Did we win?
It's too early to celebrate, but history will remember this moment. and honor all that was lost in this long battle.
Wait, Hans. You hear that? In your headphones?
What's the sound?
Admiral, we might have a life signal, but there's too much interference.
Give me that.
But soon enough, the strange sound in the room subsides.
No, it's nothing. There is no sign of life. It was the wind.
So, that means... a triumphant victory! A salute to you, Admiral, and to the Timekeeper.
Our efforts for peace have prevailed, and we have emerged victorious. Let us forever remember this day for its greatness. Glory to all who fought for this moment! We did it!
Whoa! Woo! Yeah!
The opposition room erupts in triumph. Arcana deceased. Wait, so they teleported her? Wait, no. Wait, did she get teleported or did she, because they were able to find the signal, so... And that didn't look like the area where Vertin and Leia was.
A bullet is among us, right under this roof. It serves no army, no country, only peace. The heavy rain at the end of the century dissolved and washed away many of its comrades. But it was lucky enough to survive. Its pointy end still shines silver, ready to drill a hole into its enemy. Sadly, its bulky colleague stole its thunder in this war. One push of the button, one big explosion. There was no need for the rest of the ammunition.
Good for them. We don't have to work for a while.
Certainly. Who doesn't want a life without the need to work? Few would hesitate to choose a life of freedom over the achievement and satisfaction of a job. Given the short lifespan of a bullet, why would it choose anything else? But its boss, the general, has more to think about. What are they going to do next time? Will this bullet be put to use when the rain comes again?
The general? Who's that?
A big shot, dear. A wise man of the most insightful kind. You should talk to him if you have the chance. But he's been in a gloomy mood lately. Be careful not to mention anything related to the conservative battle tactics used in 1999. The missile that would have been launched, and especially anything about the bullets lost in that battle. He has paid a great price for the future, but you see, the future is sneaky. Every time you think you can grasp it, it takes a step away from you, nullifying every effort you've made to get near it. Even a bullet isn't fast enough to catch up.
Then, we must keep pursuing.
Pursuing the future. How romantic, dear. As long as we continue to close the gap between us and the future, it will eventually be reduced to zero. But know that as time goes by, we are only moving slower and slower in the race. Technology is regressing, and we have switched from AKs to Mosin Nagants. The bullets won't be as fast as they used to be. The future is drifting away from us, and the past is catching up.
Nope. Thanks for the hydrate. And the stretch. "22. The one who prays. Recognize the beauty and goodness of truth. Free yourself from corruption, hatred, and evil." "Here on the level sand, between the sea and land, what shall I build or write against the fall of night? Tell me of ruins of too grave, that holds the bursting wave."
Drink this. It will help relieve your pain. Worry not. It's not made from the grapes on my head.
"The destroyed island. The war hath ended, but its scars remain in this place. The whole truth, once the palace of knowledge, now stands in ruins." 210 examines the injured man's face closely, making sure his pain was eased. Then he stands and watches as more people are brought through the gates.
I'm in there, 29.
So you think 88 is going to be a playable character? Her own arms are wounded from the attack, but fortunately they're not fatal. Since the injuries awakened, there has been only things that we've been doing. Oh wait,
Are there
but
any other injured that have not been found yet?
wait, is 6 still around?
I've scouted the island. Every remaining member should be here.
So you have.
He sighs, the ramification of the situation weighing down on them.
It means the members not here have joined Manus Vindicte.
The hall is dead silent. Just a few hours ago, it was alive with debate, ideas, passion. But now one half of the hall is gone. It's seated buried under a shadow dome and crumbling walls.
The sick still in a coma, Miss Marta.
The blind woman nods, concern etched on her face. The banshee doesn't say anything else. She needs to clean out her own wounds. The last few hours has been one whirl. The faith has troubled, the humans has invaded their island, and Manus Vindictus had turned them against each other. But now, everything's gone. Enemies, friends, even the truth. All that left are the moans and groans that fill the hall. In the midst of the hushed void, some begin to pray.
O the alone infinite, the non-subsistent, the ineffable, I call. Grant me inspiration of nature. Guide my soul with truth.
There are wounds of both sorrow and hope. Words of consolation and honor for the dead. A brief respite where they can find solace to ease their pain.
Give me power of enlightenment. Tear off from the web of ignorance.
More people join in. Their prayers reverberate through the hall.
Redeem me from the evil, hatred, and what throttles me down. Break through the ground of bad, corruption's chain, the carapace of darkness, the living death, sensation's corpse, the tomb I carry. Learn the beauty of truth, the balance and limitations of all.
It's 29. The injured believer just carried in by 888. A leg is missing, and he managed to get up and sit down against the wall.
Why are you still praying? The truth is gone! Who are we praying to? Who will answer us?
His outburst falters, turning into a bitter sob.
For generations,
We have searched for purpose and meaning. But now that the truth is lost, what is left for us to live for?
No, the truth is still there.
The crisp voice echoes through the hall. 37 arrives panting at the door, accompanied by a member of the Timekeeper's team.
I passed a Perron's test and it showed me the answer. It will free us from the Wheel of Birth once and for all. I just need some time to decode it.
We will do our best to help. But how much time do you need?
A crucial question. The girl averts her eyes. Her confidence has wavered since the last time she answered this
I
question.
have someone in mind that can help us decode faster.
Elsewhere in this world, some people are also making the same effort at all costs. So who's the person Verton's thinking of? They too are studying the immunity of the storm.
But I need your approval before I ask them for help.
Oh, is it Lucy? This requires some finesse. What about to be asked might rattle the founding principle of the belief system?
May I share the truth with the others, 37?
We're back into the lab. The experiment on the side effects of the ritual are ongoing. The list of conditions they encounter stretched down the page like a long, dwindling snake.
The side effects are completely random. Among the current samples, the probability of no side effects occurring is 0.52%. And of the 81 recorded side effects, 39 of them will cause irreversible damage to the biological body. 24 will permanently alter the composition of the caster's body functioning. And 18 minor effects will cause only minor, superficial injuries that do not affect daily functioning. Laplace's archives has enough rituals to protect casters from the minor effects, but the other two categories are highly lethal.
The list was made at the cost of lives. She meticulously analyzed each item as is taking apart a crucial machine.
After 72 experiments, the diversity of side effects has decreased significantly. It is unclear if this is due to repeated testing on a single subject or due to a limited range of possible side effects. More than 90% of these effects are related to concepts such as dirt and dust. Is it because of the origins of this ritual's power?
She stops briefly, scanning through the list again.
The number of recorded side effects is 86, not 81. When did I write these 5 down?
A knock at the door interrupts her thoughts. Someone walks in.
Madam Lucy, Zeno's plan was a success. With the help of Team Timekeeper, the leader of Manus Vindictae was teleported to a deserted military base and targeted with a thermobaric weapon.
So she was teleported.
It was a direct hit with no signs of life detected. The momentous event was captured on camera in the observation room.
The director nods in approval. It is good news, but she can't devote much of her processing power to expressing joy while she focuses on research.
A tremendous victory. Please extend my congratulations to the Admiral for this remarkable feat.
Also, you have 2 call requests. One is from the Timekeeper, which Laplace received shortly after the battle with Manus Vindictae. She is requesting remote assistance to help the Apiron decode a numerical code related to the storm immunity.
Put her through immediately.
Simone nods, but her shoulder remains tense. There's more.
And the other call?
It's Kukanya, the Viennese arcanist who helped investigate Marcus in acquiring the ritual. We have updated her the progress of the study and the potential side effects of the incantation. But she insists on knowing the right pronunciation.
Guide to construction communication waves under special circumstance. Alright everyone, this is X here to instruct you all how to set up a usable radio communication network under the influence of the storm. Firstly, radio transmissions like the Goldberg machine, a convoluted process, even though it's point-to-point, is not just a straight line. The medium of transmissions can also change along the way, and is not limited to radio waves. With a little imagination and well-calculated paths, information can be transmitted from any point to any other point. The multiply complex path can prevent information from being hijacked during transmission due to the storm. The theory involved can be found in my earlier paper, How to Send Transoceanic Mail with Pigeon and Catapults. Call me when someone gets it right. I'm on my way to being busy. Stage 23, the Rosetta Stone. This may be the world's first translingual dictionary.
No, we are not aware of that. 37 and I had just entered the cave when the investigators sent back the ritual.
That transmission is weakening. Miss Radio musts all her strength, struggling to hold on the feeling signal in the air.
Thank you for the thorough explanation, Madam Lucy. I'll make sure to inform the members of the Peering.
Is it really possible to remember all those numbers and technical details?
If possible. Could you kindly explain this to them again after we set up the communication device?
The lab has never been busier since the day I was built. The scattered files are neatly gathered, and more editors have come to help sort through the years of documents. Miss Radio is placed next to the IDM with a sense of reverence. The computer screen lights up. A familiar voice comes out of the speakers.
The next thing's the acoustic components. Totally understandable if you don't have any on hand. Regulus, can you help me find some...
What are you saying, mate? Of course, this great disc jockey would have the acoustic components. I'll have you know, I made friends with the dolphins as soon as I had the chance, hoping they'd retrieve some of the radio components from Apple II. And guess what? They actually found some!
She attached the acoustic components onto the IDM, beaming with excitement.
Hello? Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. You finally have a communicator equipped with a speaker. Before, there were too many ears for one tiny radio. Ah.
What now? Another attack?
Not quite. That's the sound of our colleague, Medicine Pocket. Hard at work.
Finally, a real communication of Team Timekeeper. X gets up, skirts around Medicine Pocket's mess on the floor, and casually makes himself a cappuccino.
How goes it on your end, Burton? The storm is only 8 hours away. Has the immunity zone on the island stopped shrinking?
I think so. No one in the Hall of Appearance affected by the storm syndrome so far. The immunity zone seems stable for now. Manus Vindicte and the humans have left. There should be no further destruction on the island.
So the decay of the immunity zone is not linear. It seems to be influenced by the islanders' mindset toward the truth, and it eventually reaches a stopping point. Could it be that the ritual on this island, rooted in the power of faith and belief, serves to amplify only the radius of the storm immunity? Fascinating.
That can wait, Researcher X.
Ulrich, impatient as ever, interrupts this musing with a more important concern. Event Hawk, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? I'm doing pretty well. We're trying to finish up the... Well, I'm trying to finish up the event. We're on 20... I forget if it's 22 or 23. But, well, I think, what... I'm not sure if you finished the event, but... Is it 26 stages? Oh, wait, did you do a cookie stream? Okay. Yeah, it was like each one's pretty long because usually I finish like this thing in like 2 or 3 days. This is the 4th day of reverse for this story. There are still pressing matters to discuss with the Timekeeper through this device.
There's one thing I'd like to confirm, Timekeeper. About the question Miss 37 asked in the cave. How can we escape the darkness of the phenomenal world and be freed from the emanation forever?
Oh, and in case I didn't say it, thank you for the raid again. Welcome in, raiders.
To my understanding, that is almost the same as asking how we can be immune to the storm.
Yes, and 37 also said the transcendental truth was beyond the limits of her mortal flesh. Apeiron answered her with an eerie sound, one that could drive anyone mad just by hearing it. It was then that the Scroll 6 gave her unfurled and transcribed the sound into a string of numbers, providing us with the code.
Yes, that's the key to our problem. We both received a solution to the same question simultaneously, immunity against the storm. This could be our Rosetta Stone, Timekeeper. We found our own Rosetta Stone!
His voice raised in excitement as he becomes fully immersed in his thoughts. Meanwhile, his listeners' minds are starting to wander with a quick question mark in the air.
Rosetta Stone.
Allow me to explain.
The director interjects with a little time explanation.
The Rosetta Stone is a stone tablet inscribed with a decree in 3 different languages: hieroglyphs, Demotic, and Ancient Greek. Hieroglyphs were the sacred writing for the divine, while Demotic script was known as the language of the people. Both scripts were ancient Egyptian, lost to time when the tablet was discovered. However, because scholars were still able to read Ancient Greek, and through comparing the 3 inscriptions that all said the same thing, they were finally able to understand the hieroglyphs. And now, we too have our own set of inscriptions to decode. The first is similar to hieroglyphs, as the truth Miss 37 heard in the cave is completely unintelligible and can drive people insane just by listening to it. The second is like Demotic script, a ritual we obtain from Arcana that can place a curse upon those who read it aloud. It cannot be handled by ordinary people. Finally, the numerical code you shared with us is like the readable Ancient Greek, without any divine powers, but crucial in deciphering the other 2 inscriptions.
How intriguing!
37's voice chimed in over the line, clearly excited by the analogy.
If we work together and combine our research, we may unlock even deeper knowledge that only belongs to the divine.
Exactly. We're looking for the same answer to the same question, like how the same decree is inscribed onto the tablet in different forms. And just like the inscriptions on the tablet, we have 3 versions of the ritual. If we can delve into the essence of the ritual and master its inner workings, we may eventually transcribe it into a side effect-free ritual that can be used by everyone.
Yes. It should work. Because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
I'm glad you think so, Miss 37.
The girl on her end of the phone is equally ecstatic. There's no questions that they're in sync on the incredible idea. The furfoo happily swirls around its fishbowl. Regrettably, his boss is a practical thinker.
Your hypothesis is based on too many assumptions, Ulrich. It requires further refinement and confirmation. We now have valid incantations. We should continue in this direction.
Her words are like a bucket of ice water dumped over their heads. As always, the robot steers them to a more practical path.
You mentioned the word transcribe, just like the timekeeper did. It holds the answer to improving the ritual.
You mean?
The scroll you mentioned that can bridge the gap between you and the Supreme Existence during communion. It is the scroll that transcribed the eerie sound and saved 37 from the lethal side effects. Does this mean it could potentially lessen the negative effects of the immunity incantation?
Everyone in the lab realized it at once. Reducing the side effects is faster than trying to come up with a perfect side effect free incantation from scratch. Now the solution is right in front of them. The scroll that solves Arcanum with Arcanum.
Wait, Madame Lucy. Let me take it from here.
We would like to borrow this scroll for research. If you lend us this scroll, we will make significant advancements on the research, and we promise to provide every assistance you require in the future.
The furfoo flinches in the shape of a droplet of sweat. It is too late to stop her. The atmosphere on the other side of the call changes dramatically.
Lend you the scroll.
The custodian leaps up from the corner in disbelief.
Are you asking us to give the legacy of Epiron, our most cherished possession, to you? A scientific research organization that serves humans?
The lab falls silent, reflecting the seriousness of the request. For a school of thought that has always kept its knowledge hidden, this is a major threat in its core belief in secret vows. But the silence is broken again by the cheeky voice. The voice that always questions and doubts.
Why not? We are seekers of truth, are we not?
Oh nice, we got 3 more left. The stage 24, or part 24, the cycle of history. By the time people realize its true nature, it has already moved. So it'll be a fight scene in this one.
Heed my words, 37. That scroll is a sacred relic passed down from the wise sages of Epiron, safeguarded by the Sixes and entrusted only to believers who brave Epiron's test. It has the power of harmonization and reconciliation. You may keep it until you fully grasp the secrets shared with you by Epiron. But you will not share it with some organization affiliated with humans, and certainly do not allow them to study it.
The inevitable disagreement is finally upon them. 888 grabs 37 by the arms and drags her out of the lab.
Why? Sharing the scroll is sharing wisdom and knowledge with others. Like what we have done through our doctrinal meetings and receiving visitors from the outside world. It is for the sake of spreading the light of truth, is it not? The human researchers, They have also discovered many brilliant theorems. Before the emanation cut us off, we had these types of communications with the outside world. It was fun, unlike what came after. I'm sure by sharing this scroll, the code from Aperon will be deciphered. I must prove that the light of truth still glimmers.
She stands her ground. She is right. With her faith shattered, people need something new to keep them going. And this time, her gesture makes sense in a practical way, a quality often missing from her previous idea. With the island no longer shielding them, the school must find another way to survive the elimination. In their moment of weakness, they need a powerful ally more than ever.
How can you be sure the scroll will only be used for researching the ritual? How can you ensure that the humans won't exploit it to create weapons of destruction?
The custodian looks up at the fractured dome. The speck of daylight illuminates her cool complexion.
Before joining the School of Aperon, my people and I had wandered the world for ages. Our long lives made it difficult for us to truly fit in with the world. Daughter of Truth, I implore you to hear the words of this old soul. Humans have indeed achieved incredible feats, and their enlightenment has even touched my soul. But unfortunately, most humans do not have an inherent respect for knowledge or its boundaries. They only chase after power blindly. I have experienced it firsthand. I tried to guide and persuade them, but ultimately I failed. That is why I am here now. What you are deciding to share is not only knowledge, but it is a ritual, a piece of power. A ritual designed for harmonization, created for the devout believers, and created for the sages seeking the truth. Yet, on the other hand, it can also be used for unspeakable horrors, such as silencers on guns, suppressors on rifles, or even on nuclear bombs.
It won't. 888. I won't let this happen. I promise.
You can't promise anything, Miss Verton. You're too young, too inexperienced to comprehend the dark nature of history.
A valid and powerful authorization. The hall itself, ravaged by war, now stands as a testament of the Banshee's claim. Even 37 is speechless.
But it's the truth we're talking about. What could possibly outweigh the truth?
An unexpected voice speaks up. To everyone's surprise, the rhetorical does not raise any objections this time.
If all it takes is lending someone a scroll to unlock unspeakable secrets, why not do it? Haven't the failures of the past 4 years proven that a stagnant mindset does not bring forth the light of truth? As individuals devoted to critical thinking, should the pursuit of truth not be our primary goal in life? My brothers and sisters, do not let hatred stop you, and don't let the dust of the phenomenal world blind you.
210!
He waves his hand and gets up from his seat.
And remember, it was 37 who passed the test and earned the scroll. It is her rightful responsibility to handle this situation.
He looks elsewhere, his demeanor suggesting a lack of interest rather than genuine support for the arguments.
Otherwise, what other choice do we have?
He struts and walks out of the hall. Behind him, the star Hermes clenches his fist and was resolved. To the murmuring, doubting crowd, she speaks again, loud and clear.
I have made up my mind. will share the scroll with Laplace. We will decipher the code together. The truth is the truth. It should not be swayed by anything else. Please, everyone, cast your pebble if you agree with me. If Six were here, he too would have called for a vote.
Some of them decided to leave the hall instead, but most stayed and used the pebbles in their hands to speak for them. Her victory arrives with a gentle sign on the corner. War and smoke have long left this place. An area has been cleared for takeoff.
Miss Lilia, are you certain about this?
Absolutely. See the nice weather today? Much better than the day we landed. No wind, no cloud, the clear sky, and that giant moon.
Sitting tight in her Su 01B, she gives a quick pat to the scroll. This is the essence of Aperon's goodwill, and their newfound alliance with Laplace.
Can't find a better day to deliver the package. It's just to the headquarters, not even going outside of Europe. 3 hours is more than enough. I'm done being stuck on this suffocating island. Nobody can stop me from taking this flight.
The headquarters are at least 768 nautical miles away, and you have no protection during the long flight. It's dangerous. And we have only 7 hours until the storm.
Dangerous? Maybe. But this is an exhilarating flight in the storm, Saneto. What better chance than now to push Xeno into updating their flying manual?
She takes a few long gulps from her canteen and warms up her broomstick, brimming with anticipation, as she was going to the carnival.
Besides, what's wrong with a bit of oil painting on me? Should be a nice badge of honor.
Mate, that's quite a distance. Just be sure not to go toppling into the Mediterranean Sea.
Red 38 is no way an apple the second.
She soars higher and higher than Regulus shrinks to a tiny red dot on the beach. From the corner of her eye, she noticed shadows slowly creeping towards her.
Uh-oh. Manus Alitius? We didn't kill them all off? I don't have time for you, little stingray rats.
The other trails close behind her.
Still got your speed, huh? I guess the death of your boss didn't faze you much. Oh.
The swollen blimp comes into view, filled with dark substance and throbbing like a beating heart. The creature's soft, tentacle-like turrets slowly rise and lock onto Lilia.
Manus aircraft? Worth a fight. Haha! Bring it on! Your downfall will be an explosive orchestra over the waters.
We use the same team. Yeah, same team.
Did I start running?
Oh, it's the same group. Alright, debuff.
Moment of silence.
Another jar?
Loading. Charging.
Benefit from reading.
There they are.
Aim and shoot. Faraday's miracle. Go. Damage.
It's newly made this year.
No worries. Loading.
Enjoy!
Free. Target confirmed.
Got you.
Circuits functioning properly.
Some peaceful moments. It will all be fine.
Circuits functioning properly.
Some peaceful moments. Relax.
I, Robot, child of science.
Oh. No more race. Got more HP. Okay, so it's 10. Okay.
Loading. Charging. Loading.
Another jar?
Eliminate target. Barrage.
I remember it's called lending a hand.
To safely cast the immunity ritual, 2 conditions must be met. Have the power to will it.
Yes, Miss Tyder has derived the formula and my team has finished designing the prototype converter. Now, we just need the bigwigs upstairs to approve the experiment application. This is an unprecedented chance to rob the storm of its energy. I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Two, minimize the side effects.
The Scroll of Aperon has shown great potential in protecting casters from the ritual. It is expected to outperform the Coleman protection rituals. The sheer variety of side effects is concerning, but we already have a list of 122 curses and their effects. Once the scroll arrives, we will test and record its reactions to each of the effects. This should speed up our analysis considerably.
But this isn't enough.
How can we get humans to make use of this ritual?
He stands up and paces around the cluttered room.
Ideally, the incantation is made into a tool like the Manus Mask or Laplace's incantation soft disk. However, this would require a thorough analysis and mastery of the ritual. Manus Vindicte could create the mask because Arcana is just that excellent of a caster. But we don't have that kind of excellence all the time. That's why I came up with a clever alternative, to let everyone be a caster instead. The problem is, humans can't cast it all to begin with. Ugh.
Logic is failing to produce the desired breakthrough. Enigma sits down at the table, holding his head in despair.
Is there nothing else we can do?
So, this is the plan of the imaginary numbers. You want to use the waves of Numa and the reconciliation of the scroll to allow everyone to recite the storm immunity ritual?
37 ponders of great interest, as if it's just another game. The collaborator of Laplace is going well. They have shared all their information on the subject.
Yes. What do you think, 37?
An ugly plan it is. There is no grace or beauty in this approach. It is purely driven by practicality and uses clever tactics to make things fit. How typical of imaginary numbers.
What? It sounds pretty cool to me. Taking advantage of the storm? It's about time we plundered it instead.
It really looks like we should throw this plan into the sea.
37 insists. Somebody's shifting her seat away from Regulus.
You're not trying to comprehend the ritual, Vertin, but scrambling to make use of it before the emanation arrives.
Isn't making use of it enough for our purposes?
No, the theory is incomplete. You will be hindered by impossible obstacles in no time. Mister, could you show me the incantation? I want to see it too.
She glances at the device, hoping for an answer, but the other end of the call has been silent for a while.
Laplace is looking for a safe method to deliver the incantation. Given the incidents before, some time is required for the application procedure. Once received, please do not read it out by any means. The side effects are extremely deadly.
The chief assistant explains to her reassuringly. Finally, someone speaks again.
Apologies. We took some time to test the delivery methods. For your safety, only the text of the incantation will be delivered. The exact pronunciation will be sent to the timekeeper later.
Thanks, mate.
Since the island has no visual communication, we will send the incantation letter by letter through a Chladni plate, a technique that converts simple patterns to sound waves. Enough with the mumbo-jumbo. There's no time for details.
Annoyed, he interrupts his rambling and gets straight to the point.
Anyway, timekeeper, we'll need the help of that lady. Miss Radio, right?
Huh?
Flattered, the blue flower on Miss Radio perks up. No ordinary signal can reach this island. Since her arrival, she's been diligently managing their communication. As a result, she has somewhat reduced to being just a radio.
Yes. Somebody please find her a metal square plate, fix it on a sturdy base, and pour sand on it. Now, a special recording will be sent to you. Please stay by the edge of the plate, embrace the sound, and, groove along.
I assume you mean vibrate?
No, that's just rude. But, yes, exactly.
He stammers.
If all goes well, the vibrations will move the sand and visualize the text in a pattern. We have 12 recordings ready, each representing a letter in the incantation. We'll play the first one when you're ready.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
She trembles with excitement, ready to give her all for this important task. As she grooves with the signal, a pattern begins to form.
All right, 11 to go.
And transmission continues as planned, each letter falling into place like pieces of a puzzle, until finally, the last letter is recorded on the page. Don't say it out loud! The sight is hard to believe. How can this be?
What? Are you reading it in your head? Oh, don't tell me even thinking about it can trigger the curse.
No. It's just...
Reminds you of something?
I can read this language.
The language is not unfamiliar. The incantation for unlocking the suitcase is described in the same tongue. The questions are, who taught this, and when? Was it on the eve of the new millennium, when everything was blank? Was it Mother? A myriad of thoughts flood the mind.
37. I think I know what it says. It means the first circle.
To be continued. We're almost done. 2 more to go, I think. Emergency Harmonizing Analysis Task Notification. Special notification. We have received a harmonizer capable of neutralizing the storm immunity spell, which has been proven effective through Miss Lucy's testing. The content of the harmonizer has been sent to each department in the form of photograph with this message. Please begin analysis for mass production immediately upon receipt. I'll call back the people from John Tiller's place. You all keep busy. The first circle. Thus, the proof is complete. The researchers on the receiving end quickly grasped the message.
The first circle. That's what the incantation says?
He suddenly remembers a detail that has excluded him all along.
That's it. The investigator in Vienna reported a similar thing. An ancient miracle, a circle of salvation. Arcana even drew a circle in the air while saying it. She did it so nonchalantly, as if it were a meaningless gesture. We didn't think much of it at the time. Once we confirmed that it did not affect the casting of the incantation, we forgot about it and moved on. I can't believe I overlooked it.
The hot-tempered cripple stamps the table and burns his face into the hands. Clearly Esper's.
This is not your fault, Ulrich. The gesture was overlooked because it did not really help the research. Our focus was on practical application rather than understanding the incantation itself. If the incantation means the first circle...
The practical's voice is still sincere.
How will this be helpful to the research?
I see! I understand now!
The moment of epiphany. She snatches a handful of paper, sprawls out on the floor, and scribbles frantically.
Well, Vertin, I don't know why you can read it, but I do know that Gal is thrilled by your interpretation. Because you mentioned her favorite shape, the circle.
The irrational number is spot on. 37 has drifted into a world of her own.
Yes, yes. The essence of the incantation is a circle. But what kind of circle is it? In topology, any closed curve on a plane can be classified as a circle.
Aha! Told you!
Rigla spreads her hands. Speechless, she takes a step back, giving 37 more room to calculate. Everyone's talking quietly, as if not to disturb her. Even Miss Radio.
Look, Vertin, let's go back to the Rosetta Stone hypothesis. Based on the hypothesis, if the incantation and the numerical code share a common essence, which is the key to the storm immunity, and we now know the incantation refers to a circle,
then the essence of this numerical code should also be a circle, right?
Yes. Before this conversation, I had no idea which direction to take. The numerical code could be a snippet of an incantation, or it could be a geometrical ritual array. I had a lot of theories to go on, but testing them could take weeks or even months. Worse yet, if my line of thinking was completely wrong, we could waste decades of time and effort. But the Rosetta Stone hypothesis is easy to verify. Let us suppose that the incantation and numerical code share a similar essence. We know that the incantation does work, as proven by the Awakened. If the incantation is a circle, then the numerical code should also be circular in nature, and has the same effect as the incantation, which is a circle that saves people from the emanation, and can also be experimented with by the Awakened.
If the experiment works, then the hypothesis is true, and vice versa. I see what you mean here. It really is an easily provable hypothesis.
To my ears, you're just trying to prove that the code means a circle. Because you're really into circles.
Not specifically. I simply like it because it's a great shape.
But I don't understand.
She picks up the numeric code and studies it carefully.
+1, -1, +2, -3, 3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
There's a slope.
How do these numbers relate to the circle?
The first circle.
And then narrows his brow, spinning a pin between his fingers. His drafts are scattered across the desk, each of them a dead end.
Yes, it was the timekeeper who translated the incantation. And according to the investigator in Vienna, Arcana also drew a circle when she cast the ritual. But experiments have shown that the gesture has no effect on the ritual. We thought maybe it was a symbolic gesture.
No. It is no way just symbolic.
He jumps to his feet. A cryptographic sneeze at the cloud of dust he just stirred up.
Arcanists excel at condensing their experiences into symbolic representations. Signs, totems, elements, these are primitive symbols, and some are sources of power for Arcanum. At least that's what the Foundation's textbooks tell me. That's why arcane skills can only be enhanced by mediums that align with their symbolic nature. Precise materials are required when creating soft discs for each incantation.
He stops spinning his pen.
If the incantation symbolizes the first circle, and if we were to create a physical form that could be mass-produced for everyone, will that form have to be a circle too?
In the cave, discussion of theories about the circle also fills in full swing. Every inch of the floor is now covered with paper. On each sheet is a different drawn circle. Some with spears, some with crossings, some are in distorted forms. Just as the sheet of paper is about to drown everyone in the room, she finally stands up.
Oh, I should have thought of this. The simplest things often hold the deepest meaning, as always. So, the first circle... What could it be? A wheel? A piece of rope? A pendulum? I spent too long on the wheel and the bearing, not realizing there was something more promising. A circle can also be seen as a knot with no crossings. An unknot. This could be a variation of a closed curve. A knot. Knots were how the ancients of the Incas and Chinese collected data and kept records. But which knot is it exactly? The Jones polynomial of the trefoil knot is t plus t cubed minus t to the power of 4. The figure 8 knot is t to the power of -2 minus t to the power of -1 plus 1 minus t plus t squared. While the cinquefoil knot, t squared plus t to the power of 4 minus t to the power of 5 plus t to the power of 6 minus t to the power of 7. I could go on all day. There are 165 different knots with 10 crossings, 9,988 knots with 13 crossings. But which knot is the code referring to? +1, -1, +2, -3, +3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
She stops.
Of course. Of course I would hear these digits instead of anything else. The scroll transcribes the truth into a format I can understand. So it must be based on a mathematical system I already know. I have all the knowledge needed to break the code. Just need to follow my instincts and pick a system. And the Jones polynomial is the first thing I could think of. Right. The second 3 I heard sounded different from the other 3s. That 3 must be the constant term of the polynomial. Then if we use this 3 as the origin, like a number axis, the left side is the coefficient for the negative exponents, and the right side is the coefficients for the positive exponents. Eureka! This string of coefficients is the shorthand of a Jones polynomial. If we assign the 8 coefficients to the 8 corresponding exponents in a Jones polynomial, we get its true form. T to the power of -4 minus t to the power of -3 plus 2t to the power of -2 minus 3 times t to the power of -1 plus 3 minus 3t plus 2t squared minus t cubed plus t to the power of 4. A knot with 8 crossings. See, Vertin, up here on did give us the answer. The key we've been looking for, the most profound secret, the language of the divine. No sound or text is needed, just pure structure, the very form of the essence itself. It is a beautiful shape, a simple knot.
A knot? Great. Now there is only one step left. The verification.
She nods and looks at the communicator.
Did you hear that, Madam Lucy? Can you help us verify the authenticity of this knot?
After unsettling silence, Miss Radio finally remembers that she has turned down the volume. When she turns it back on, Lucy's voice comes through clearly over the channel.
Of course. I have paid close attention to the discussion. This polynomial produces a single unique knot. We can now tie a knot to test it.
The call goes silent again. The cave is silent too, as if any noise will alter the outcome. Even Regulus has turned off her personal speakers. In a quiet hush, Miss Radio cranks up her volume once more, but all they hear is a sharp hiss of static, and a soft, strange rustling. 20 minutes have passed.
Madam Lucy?
The only sound is a constant static, accompanied by a faint scratching reverberation.
Is the signal dropping? Madam Lucy, can you hear us?
I can.
The robot utters with effort. Slipknot from her grip and falls. Then the robot starts to fall apart and melt. Before the curse could get to her core, a fire thief flashes a smile. She needs to ensure the next message is clear on the radio.
It worked.
How did it work if she's disappearing? Or melting. The ritual core is officially complete. Thank you everyone. The ritual core is complete. We have successfully overcome all the challenges we face, and all that remain in assembly and mass production. Our research on the storm has come to a successful conclusion. We are also collecting names for the ritual core. If you're interested, please feel free to submit your suggestions. Below are examples of the suggestions we have collected. 37. Lucy Knot. Absolute Universal G Power Storm Immunity Device. The place knot, uncool. 1914 knot, wrong time. The knot, it has a nice ring to it. And the last... Alright, not to accept... Wait... Alright, last one. Stage 26. Mirrors and curtains. A mirror, a razor in green, and hands reaching into nothingness. I wonder what the boss fight is this gonna look like. Four more hours until the storm.
I never thought it would be the Timekeeper and the Apeiron Arcanus who'd solve the problem. But now even humans can cast this ritual.
The Plus is now in a rare state of tranquility. For the researchers have done all they can, there's nothing else left for them to do. With only 4 hours to go, this is the final calm before the storm.
Indeed. The knot is the physical form of the ritual we were looking for. Surprisingly, the numerical code yielded practical results. I thought it was necessary to report this to the Timekeeper's organization. It was her contribution. But it did not go well.
Forgive the interruption. What's a knot?
I will be glad to answer your question. Knot theory is a branch of algebraic topology. In mathematics, a knot refers to a connected closed curve in three-dimensional Euclidean space that does not intersect itself. They can also be described as shapes in three-dimensional space that are homeomorphic to circles. Knot theory focuses on the entanglement and configurations of closed curves in three-dimensional space, rather than the curves themselves. Since all closed curves are homeomorphic to circles, they can all be topologically categorized as circles. A knot equivalent to a two-dimensional circle is called an unknot. And
I don't mean to question Laplace's expertise, but this approach may not be the best solution for widespread implementation. The concepts are complex even for us, let alone others. We can't expect to give an advanced math lesson to every individual under these circumstances. Doing math before the storm. Nobody's got time for that.
as it turned out, presenting a technical report was much too premature. We should have a complete and official report once the immunity gear is produced.
Maybe you can change your approach the next time you report to the Foundation.
The robot shakes her head, disappointment by the failure of her report and the listener's math level.
I simply gave them honest answers.
She turns her head and looks stiffly out the window.
But this solution is deserving of widespread implementation. All we need is a piece of rope and tie it end to end. And spend 3 to 5 minutes to make this knot. This can be done anywhere, at any time, by anyone using any type of cordage. The oldest, fastest, and most basic ritual, the key to braving the storm, is a knot.
Why didn't you tell the House of Intercartus? I'm sure they would have funded us generously.
I will make sure to put it in my interdepartmental report.
A rare hint of frustration flickers across her face, but she quickly moves on to the subject that deserves her attention.
But at this point in time, the knot only functions like an incantation. It is not suitable for widespread use until the research on the side effects and the converter are complete.
In any case, I've completed all the tasks you assigned me. My last plea is, please never put Ulrich and I on the same team again.
The researcher lets out a deep yawn, feeling as if he hasn't slept in ages. Maybe he can catch a quick nap before the final battle begins.
I'm surprised that you're not in the lab. Something bothering you? Wait, don't tell me you're charging here.
The robot turns to him, an approving smile on her face.
Excellent job, Researcher Adler. You have proven that you are keeping the locations of public outlets in Laplace in mind, which is a positive sign for your resocialization. But I am powering up to reach my optimal condition, preparing for what is to come. The Scroll of Apeiron, the final piece of the puzzle, the key to minimizing any negative effects caused by the incantation.
Wow! The designers on artificial somnambulism could use some of this inspiration. Look at the clouds, painted with a syndrome of colors and interrupted by a glorious streak of rainbow. It's truly a masterpiece. Funny. They're flying towards the headquarters out of instinct. Maybe they can sense immunity zones. These little beasts would make for a good study. But I'm not in the mood to take any prisoners. Fuel and ammunition are running out. Huh. Maybe I should storm the Vice President's office with them. But other people might get hurt there. Never mind. Dive into the lake? But the splash might wet the scroll. Wait, isn't that...
Miss Lilia, this way.
Ha! Good timing.
Enemies intercepted. Ally landed successfully. Miss Travis, the Elitiaus are all ensnared in vines.
The druid closed her eyes, savoring the fresh air.
The winds of triumph sweep through the woods. An excellent flight, Miss Lilia. We will take it from here. Come, everyone. We shall vanquish our foes with the aid of the woods.
Try keep. Okay, change the healer.
We make an
All
ideal
weak
team.
still. Medicine pocket. You're up.
Me? Is everyone else dead?
No.
Did I start running?
Sterilize.
It's newly made this year.
Charging.
Get out of here.
Got you.
Faraday's miracle. Loading.
Wear gloves.
Charging.
Another jar?
Get out of here.
Target confirmed.
Let's get it over quick.
Ow!
Loading.
It's newly made. Another jar?
Barrage.
There they are.
Victory secured. I should excuse myself.
Alright, so what do we... Is that what we got? The cog?
The Special Operations Squad is ready to go. Dr. Kakanya, are you really going to stay here?
Alright, I'll finish this stage and then we'll call it. For more than 10 hours, she's been waiting for Laplace to respond. Marcus lowers her eyes, burying her face in the scarf to hide the tears. The doctor quickly noticed it. Her voice softens and changed to a lighter tone.
Don't worry about me, young missy. This won't be goodbye forever. Besides, I have already provided all the help I can, right? I made Isolde show us the ritual and kept her under control, and now you've figured out how the ritual works.
I think Kakanya might be in the next
Results,
banner.
We will need a couple of volunteers.
But Marcus doesn't seem to find comfort in her words.
But you heard the report from Laplace. The possibility of surviving the ritual is nearly zero without the converter and the scroll and...
Nearly, they said. But not surely.
The doctor interjects briskly.
Plus, where else can I go? I was born and raised in this city. This is where I came from, where I lived and where I belong. This is my whole world. I despised the maggots under its golden surface, and fought for the justice and fairness in our society. But I also cherish every detail of this city, from the intricate carvings on the theater columns to the dirt trodden by dock workers. All of these things made me me. My family, my friends, my people, and my operas and culture are all here. I never once thought about leaving this place. I have never thought about destroying it either.
She looks up and sighs mentally.
Being washed away with it would be a just punishment for all my sins. Yet
her eyes are free of darkness and despair. Marcus can clearly see her determination.
I wish I could be as brave as you are. See you, Miss Clara.
She gently reaches out to her. Not far away, the Special Operations Squad is ready to go. The helicopter begins to whirl, its last errand of the day. Inside the cabin, Isol sits between the two raised operatives, her wrists bound in cuffs.
Hurry, ladies, before any of us turns into one of those exquisite paintings. Sorry, but the headquarters is too far for the teleportation disc from here. You'll have to bear with us smelly old grunts for a little longer.
It is time to part ways.
Goodbye, Miss Marcus. Sharing this era with you has been an honor.
Her warm hands clasp in a powerful handshake. With a wave to a teary-eyed girl, Kakanya turns around and heads towards the Hall of Madness.
Is your birthday approaching, Doctor?
He twirls sharply around in the entrance voice. Isol reaches out into the air, still in a dream she's unwilling to wake up from. There, the world is unchanged, and each day is filled with bliss. For a prisoner in the Foundation's facility, perhaps dreams will provide the solace she needs.
I made this for you.
She holds out the brooch, a piece so exquisite that it, too, seems to be an integral figment of a restful dream. The golden settings nestle the sparkling gem in place, a gift undoubtedly made with great affection.
Turquoise and topaz, just like you and your eyes. Please accept my blessings, Doctor. May your life be filled with joy and contentment, and may your courage guide you through all that comes your way. You are worthy of all the beauty and goodness this world has to offer, and I will hold you in my heart and in my prayers forever.
Today is Inkakan's birthday, okay. Alright. Thanks for the hydrate. Alright, thanks for the posture check. If one were to die today, what would she say to her long-lost time friends?
Süße Träume, hatte das Dorf.
She takes the brooch and pins it to her jacket. The communicator at her wrist cackles. A ray of hope shines through the static.
Madam Lucy, any progress on the research?
Oh, it's not over yet. We're on 27. Let's see. Stage 27. Hymnus ad bach. Wait, is that the code that they had to repeat or something like that? So I will rejoice, dance freely, and savor my wine.
Six is awake?
The blind woman nods, smiling. 37 scrambles up from the floor. Her eyes sparkle with joy.
Fabulous! Now everything is perfect, like the number 10. He will be happy to hear that I've cracked the code.
She skips across the room. The paper with the knot on it still in her hand.
I did it, Burton! I have proven the light of truth still shines. With some time, communication, and a flash of inspiration, we can bring it down from the unattainable skies and let its radiance illuminate all. And I've also proven that the truth is not out of reach or too distant to grasp. So, once Sophia knows about this, she'll come back to us, right?
Wishful thinking, I believe. She opens her eyes wide, eager for the information she learned to hear.
I'm sure she'll be happy with what you've accomplished, 37.
37 nods with satisfaction and quickly dives back into her work, further perfecting the solution. The leap in progress and the news of 6 returns have filled the lab with smiles and lively conversation. Yet the most active member of the past are not here for the celebration.
Did 210 and 888 go to get 6?
You don't seem that happy.
The leader stops, looking at the speaker coming down the steps.
The Star of Hermes deciphered the code of Apeiron. She found a way to cross the emanation. We should all feel happy for her.
The leader does not answer, having mastered the art of silence over the years. The rhetorical doesn't care. He can effortlessly engage in dialogue and is at ease in any conversation, even with a rock.
Yet here you are, so indifferent. It is because you, too, know that what has happened will not change, regardless of whether she figures it out or not. A meager ritual to save people from the emanation is nothing compared to the disruption of the law above. It also cannot change the fact that our faith is dead. We're talking about how the island has sunk, and we're now sailing in a tsunami. A tiny miracle, a spark of inspiration, won't save the ship from the wrath of the tides.
His tone is sarcastic, but the mockery is missing in his eyes.
To be honest, I was surprised that she asked such a practical question. I guess the trivialities of the phenomenal world did eventually affect her. It's a shame that many others lack her determined will to see beyond the void of our broken reality.
What's your point?
Can't you see? I'm getting a rise out of you.
He beams a huge grin.
Who would have thought that our great, perfect, honorable leader of the School of Apeiron has been a nihilist all along? You never revered the truth, did you? That's why you kept us in the dark for 4 years. You never respected our beliefs for a second in your life.
The man down the steps shakes his head.
The people who seek the truth are more important than the truth itself. I may not understand that ever-shifting number, but I do understand and respect the people here.
He continues the conversation, a rarity to behold. Ever since becoming 6, he rarely has a chance to unleash his sarcasm wit.
So you know the secret. What now? Now that you know the truth could lead to a nihilistic void, I wonder if you would abandon our doctrines, our wisdom, and our inheritance, and step into the darkness in a fit of rage. When truth fails, sophistry prevails. Correct?
Ha! We cannot deny that fate, the unspeakable, holds wisdom beyond our understanding. Perhaps it does take a resolute skeptic, an impartial nihilist, to steady this ship and remain detached enough to look on from the sidelines.
210 looks up at a distant grape-colored sky.
It's a pity. This was supposed to be the best time of year to make wine.
He leaves without looking back. The silent leader continues to on his familiar path. A short distance away, 37 slides graciously down the sand and runs towards them.
6! You're here! 188 said they're holding a celebration before the arrival of the emanation, in honor of the living and the dead. Will you join us, 6?
37. Do you remember the story of Socrates?
The one you told me in the cave? The trial is over. Why mention it? You should answer my question first.
Her words trails off as her eyes suddenly widen in fear. She completely fixated on what is in the deep distance. She knows the feast is underway, and she recalculates the safe zone for them to hold it in. But now, people are lying out food and wine on the ruined beach, among the rubble and wreckage, right next to the remains of a battlefield.
Wait, are they holding the ceremony outside the immunity zone? I told them to go to the meadow near the top of the mountain where they will be completely safe. I've checked my calculations over and over, leaving no room for error. 888 must have made a mistake. I need to warn them.
Her tiny arms are held back. Blonde hair droops over 6's eyes. 37 looks back in confusion at the leader's unusual behavior.
37. Either be wise, uninvolved, and look on, or be practical, involved, and suffer. Which one will you end up choosing?
You mean all we need is a piece of hope?
The voice on the phone sounds unsure.
Yes. In recognition of your extraordinary contributions, Laplace is honored to present you with the fruits of our labor. This knot is the result of our research. The knot has been validated as a working ritual on both humans and arcanists. With the help of other arcanists, we found methods to avoid side effects and conducted small-scale experiments with success.
So are you saying we can...
However, since the experiment is still in its early stages, it involves a variety of materials and complicated rituals that are not yet possible for transmission. Nor can we deliver you any experimental equipment, as the storm is about to make landfall. The knot acts as an equivalent to the incantation, but it does not guarantee that we will meet the casting requirements or avoid the likely side effects.
This is devastating news for anyone in need of rescue in the midst of disaster. The robot paused briefly, searching its database for kinder phrasing.
I apologize, Miss Kakanya. Perhaps the result of our work will not really help your situation.
You said the knot works on both humans and arcanists, right?
Surprisingly, there's no despair in her voice.
Yes.
That is more than enough. This is the best news I've heard so far. There's a chance for everyone.
The robot does not understand her mumbling, but she found something in her database that might help.
I have 2 more pieces of good news. First, the curse is not inevitable. Our experiments showed a 0.49% likelihood of no side effects occurring at all.
Is that pretty low?
Second, the closer the storm gets, the more pneuma fills the air, leading to a greater success rate of the ritual. Yet, even with these factors combined, the rate of success is still extremely low.
It's all right. With millions of people trying, there's hope that at least one person will succeed against the odds. Thank you for sharing this with me, madam. I will do everything I can to spread this knot in Vienna. To the Arcanists, humans, Magyars, and Germans, they are all my people. regardless of their social status, profession, or race. They all deserve the right to survive.
Lucy ends the call and turns around. There stands a Foundation employee sent here to inquire about the experiment, with a stern expression after overhearing the conversation.
Madame Lucy, I can only assume you acted impulsively and overlooked the proper application process. The knot is new and not ready for widespread testing. Distributing it in Vienna could lead to more casualties or even fall into the hands of our enemies. I must remind you that this is a clear violation of the regulations set by Pax Security Council, the St. Pavlov Foundation, and the Laplace.
Ah, yes. How careless of me.
What's she gonna do? The robot nods.
But I did tell her I would share the results of the research. And this is what you call a promise. And the database says, a promise made is a promise kept.
The storm is imminent. The final moment has arrived.
My brothers and sisters, put down your cups for a moment and lend ear to me. We were born extraordinary, yet estranged from the world around us. Throughout the ages, we wandered the world like a ship lost at sea. Despite the instability and chaos, we persevered, and together we sought after the truth that would illuminate us all. Through introspection and contemplation, we cleansed ourselves of hatred, madness, and delusion, and embraced the value of beauty and harmony.
Yet now, our shattered faith mingles with the rubble of this phenomenal world, as specks in an unjust timeline, as remnants of a tide long receded. The dream of the transcendental world is broken, and the order of the transcendental law is no more.
Our sanctuary has crumbled, exposing us to live in a world filled with conflict and turmoil, where we will be trapped in the wheel of birth, doomed to repeat the mistakes of history for eternity.
But do not despair, for there is another way to the truth. It is a path fueled by unbridled passion, one that was stifled by moderation and restraint, a path that transcends the individual, breaks all boundaries and limitations, and leads us back to the essence in a fiery blaze of glory.
This path is the emanation which we stride into for the ultimate truth of our journey.
Doctor?
The boy eases his pace as he sees Kikanya rushing his way.
Finally, someone I know.
She cradles a thick stack of pamphlets in her arms, a little out of breath.
Ilich, gather everyone you can and have them read out these steps in the plaza for all to hear. If possible, go to the telegraph office or use a printing machine to copy flyers. Distribute as many copies as you can. I'll go to Leopoldstadt and find the Grakos brothers. They know where to find abandoned military hot air balloons.
What are you talking about, Doctor? People are too busy trying to escape. I want nothing to do with those crazies. This? A guide for tying knots? Don't you know the world is about to end? So many warnings. Who'd want to read this?
The people who want to survive will read it. I can't guarantee anything. It's a gamble for our lives. But people have a right to try before doomsday arrives. Ilich, please trust me one more time. Please.
The boy recognized the plead in her voice.
Fine, Dr. Clara. If this works, your coffee for the rest of your life is on me.
Why?
It's gonna be a sad ending. Clutching at her own hair, she lets out a heart-wrenching wail.
Why are you still leaving? I found the truth. I completed the test. I deciphered the code of Eperon.
She struggles, trying to break free from the arms holding her back, her eyes fixed on the beach before her.
Why aren't you stopping them, Six?
A friendly figure comes up to them.
Hello.
Are you joining them, Miss Marta?
She smiles and shakes her head, turning her face towards the leader.
I find myself uncertain of which way to go. Would you kindly give me some guidance?
The guidance I can offer you is limited, Miss Marta. I think fate knows its own fate better than anyone.
Thank you for your advice. I think I understand.
She steps into the path of no return. They said we can't do anything. Wait, so she did it, but everybody else didn't survive? That's a sad ending. I think it all to be continued.
My dear child, look at you. You're exhausted. I couldn't be of help then. But it's okay. The party is over now. At least let me brush your hair, darling. Or your hair will get all knotted. And it will hurt you when you try to untangle them.
Indeed, it happens more than once.
I'm not surprised. An old friend of ours, not. Often we learn our knots before we even know how to read and write. A knot could be an obstacle that breaks the consistency of a flow. And also a reminder of forgotten things. You can use just about anything on hand to make a knot. Leaves of grass, the fur of an animal, even fallen hair. But the sturdiest knots are tied with rope. Knots are often found in many stories. Signify promises, counting and measuring, an instrument of salvation, and one of execution.
What else can these knots really do?
Oh, I could go on all day. The influence and power of knots can't be overstated. It is said that it was in the cutting of the Gordian knot that Alexander became the Great. Just touching the meters-long rope provides blessings to the faithful in Bellum. And tiny knots on strings can carry the history of an entire people. The ancient Inca called it quipu. The intricate variations of hundreds of fabrics, colors, and lengths of strings were used to record their stories through the ages. And to think, Shakespeare only had 26 letters to create his masterpieces.
Isn't there something a bit more practical?
Just look around you. Don't sailors use knots to mark depths and mend sails? Or coachmen tying knots to rein their horses? And any respectable lady or gentleman knows the knots they must tie about their necks to stay in fashion. Or consider the knot-like helix structure of DNA and the changes in states of matter. Invisible to the naked eye, these knots carry some hint at a universal law. That there might be a string, like the quipu, an endless rope that records in its knots everything in the world, one that can't be seen, yet there it is, everywhere, all at once. Maybe you could tie this knot yourself. Use your hair, then form a loop, pass the end through it, and tighten it up. There you go. I hope you keep this knot as a record of the words we shared here.
Stage 28. The two numbers. Two numbers, each representing a pure essence of its own.
I don't understand. I should be giving them my blessings. They're brave enough to return to the essence. But instead, sadness washes over me.
Yeah.
I should feel happy for Sophia, now that she knows her soul number. Yet, I am filled with sorrow.
The beach is quiet, clean, and perfect again. The storm has washed away everything that happened. The war, the crowd, and the clicking cups, all gone. It restores to the likeness of a better time, with no remnants left behind. The last echo of the era has faded into the distance.
Why did you all leave? Is it because I wasn't fast enough? Is it because I didn't do well enough?
Her petite frame sways in the breeze, until finally she crumbles to the sand. Rivulets of tears streams down her cheeks, mixing with the mud on the ground. Her face, hair, and glided robes are marred with stains. But she shows no concern as she bawls her eyes out, her grief tearing at the core of her being, like the first cry of a newborn entering the phenomenal world. Thus the leader knows, the question is answered. Rather than looking on, she has chosen to be practical, evolve, and suffer. And now, the moment of parting has come.
Go, 37. Leave the island to the world outside. Ms. Verton, you're clearing a path out of the mires of the phenomenal world. I sincerely hope you will steer it away from the horrors of war.
It's our duty to do so.
Six nods approvingly. The importance of a scroll needs no further proclamation.
Also, the person you were looking for, I am not familiar with a biographer named Erd. However, in my recollections from the previous 6, there was a lady with a soul number just as unique as yours.
Are you saying?
Sadly, these vague scraps of information were all that I inherited. I hope they will be useful to you.
He turns around without another look at the beach. He walks. Some believers trails after him without hesitation. Seeing this, the girl wipes off her tear and scrambles to her feet.
No! Wait! 6, where are you going? Everyone is gone! Sophia, 210, 888, and now you too?
I'm returning to the cave, 37. There are still people who refuse to be caught in the cycle of hatred or give in to unrestrained passion. The entrance to the sacred place may be destroyed, but the people's faith is yet to be extinguished. We will persist in studying the scrolls, copying the scriptures, and restoring our halls. We will worship the Ancient One in penance and work to rekindle the flame of our broken beliefs. The island is a manifestation of our choices, a haven removed from the phenomenal world, a place of order and harmony, and it is our determination that will sustain its tranquil existence.
I will go with you!
No. Your choice has already been made, 37. You should not go back. The sorrows and doubts you have can only be alleviated by experiencing the outside world.
37's face turns completely pale. 6 shakes his head, looking forward towards the setting sun.
Thousands of years ago, the first faithful ones fled from the Roman Empire and journeyed to this island, where they founded the School of Aperon. 500 years ago, refugees from Arabia found shelter here. They filled the cavern's shelves with copies of their writings and texts. Half a century ago, scholars who had their research exploited for warfare came and expanded our knowledge on modern mathematics. There were many 37s and 6s among them. Yet, are we any different from them in essence? Even if we are no longer here, the numbers 37 and 6 will still exist. Even if the island sank, these numbers would reappear elsewhere. The integer sequence is infinite, 37. Rather than clinging to a set of specific numbers, you should go and work out your own calculations and conclusions.
So now you're choosing to be wise and look on. But I don't understand. How could one be wise by being uninvolved and looking on from the sidelines?
6 lets out a sigh, almost a chuckle.
You overestimate wisdom, Ms. Verton. It can't do everything. Wisdom can free people from ignorance, but it can also lead them to a nihilistic void. Yet, someone will always seek this wisdom, even if nihilistic, to briefly rise above their worldly troubles and find some relief. And someone will have to stay here and provide a neutral haven for the drifters of the phenomenal world, and give the lost souls a harbor to return to.
He turns again, ignoring the calling behind him this time.
Wait! 6, wait!
She rubs her face with the palm and pulls up her robe, running down the beach. She stumbles over a pebble and falls, but she pushes through the pain and rises to her feet, still running as fast as she can.
Wait, 6! Atticus!
The man stops. He has not expected to hear that name. Numbers are the essence of one's soul, and names are but echoes of the phenomenal world. He was born into his number long before he was given his name Atticus. 37 never once called him by that name, for she has always valued the essence above all else. Now, here she stands, her hair tangled with mud, kneeling, with knees bleeding, all battered and bruised.
Will you leave a door open for me in your cave, like when we were kids? I know the transcendental law is in disorder, but that doesn't mean the truth is gone. I will carve a new path through the chaos, calculate better solutions than ever before, and delve into the phenomenal world to discover all it has to offer. By then, if I run into problems that I can't solve, can we talk about them together? Like we used to?
3 maxima are carved on the pillar of temple of Apollo. Know thyself, nothing in excess, and give up plead and trouble is at hand. What can he say? Alleviate doubt is the leader's duty.
Yes, a door will be left open for you, 37. Both you and your friends can come in.
It's a promise. 6.
She brushes away her tears and waves to him. It's still a goodbye, but it's no longer as devastating. The last of the apparent followers has left, leaving only the Timekeeper's team on the beach.
Zeno sent a ship to pick us up. Let's go, 37. The researchers of Laplace would love to meet you.
The girl's shoulders are trembling.
Are you nervous? Afraid of the unknown world?
Maybe a little. But I will get used to it.
She lets out a breath, clearing the tangles of emotion from her mind. A familiar smile lights up on her face.
Because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
To be continued. Stage 29, The Umbrella and the Knot. It may not be important to remember an era, but it is important to remember the people.
We are prisoners within these cavern walls. Our gaze is held captive by the shadow's thrall. Until our hands clasp and our chains rattled, we united to break free from our shackles. The sightless joined forces with the soundless, and the voiceless uplifted the helpless. Together, we assembled a sliver of truth, a piece of the world hidden since youth. Have you got something for me, Mesmer?
Mesmer Juno looks worn and tired, but her demeanor is somewhat friendly. Dark circles are clearly visible under Member Junior's eyes, just like every Laplace member encountered today.
Yes. They asked me to give this to you.
Umbrella?
The culmination of our research. The crystallization of man in all its wisdom. The protective gear against the storm. An umbrella. Something you personally don't really need.
She takes a sarcastic jab as she opens a white stain-tint umbrella.
It's called the Equilibrium Umbrella. This is the first model, consisting of a converter, a harmonizer, and a ritual core. The converter generates a balancing field that can cast rituals in the storm, taking account of the wielder's capabilities.
The harmonizer's markings are inspired by the scroll of Apeiron. Madame Lucy tested it against 162 known side effects and found it to be highly effective. The original scroll has been returned to the island. This is only a simplified and duplicated rendition.
The 162 curses aren't all of them, right?
Correct. There may be other unknown side effects, so the umbrella is only a prototype in the testing phase. And the ritual core. At first it was called the 37 Lucy Knot in honor of the two main contributors. However, both of them turned it down.
Yes. I still remember what 37 said at the time. She would rather name it after the mathematical properties of the knot, even if it's too much of a mouthful.
No. 37 is not a name, and the truth should not be dressed up with anyone's name. I only found it. I didn't invent it. I do need something named after me to prove my sense of existence. But I'm not on the island anymore. I can understand that the imaginary numbers need to honor the discovery. You may use another contributor's name for it. I'm willing to accept that.
Madame Lucy showed no interest in the naming rights, so it was transferred to the third major contributor, Adler Hoffman. Sadly, researcher Adler also rejected the offer. At first, we nearly ended up using the date of that day as the name. But he changed his mind after confirming he could use his family name instead.
The Hoffman knot? You named it after Madame Hoffman?
Yes. Researcher Adler Hoffman wanted to make sure that Greta Hoffman would never be forgotten for her selfless sacrifice. Level 4 Investigator Marcus, please accept this umbrella. It is rightfully yours.
She receives the equilibrium umbrella. This peerless sheen creates an illusion of pure whiteness in front of her. Wait, how many prototypes did they make?
Given the incredible contributions you have made, you are welcome to apply for a well-deserved and extended vacation.
No. I will request for permission to go out. My era is gone. But with this umbrella in hand, I will venture into the new world and marvel at what's to come.
Marcus looks up at the
Will
sky.
the sucker tort taste the same?
With the umbrella in her arms, she bows to the Foundation staff member. Then she turns and walks towards the light.
And lastly, the asymmetrical nuclide R in the handle of the umbrella is supposed to protect against the storm syndrome, but this still needs to be confirmed through testing.
It's okay. This is the one thing we need the most.
If you have no further questions about its usage, I'm heading back to the rehab center. The afflicted researchers there are in dire need of my magnet therapy.
Don't you think 1 is not enough for my needs? I think 5. No, 15 might be more helpful.
An unexpected question. Mary June stops with a surprised look on her face.
My suitcase can't protect humans from the storm. They'll need the umbrella to survive. In the future missions, I may encounter lots of...
Just a reminder, Timekeeper. This is only a prototype. The application forms for the umbrella are available in the Foundation lobby. Feel free to apply for as many as you need.
She turns and leaves, not saying for another second.
Thank you, Mesma.
The amount of sunlight is just right. The umbrella pops open, rotating with a touch of grace. Against the white fabric, the golden knot gleams with brilliance.
37 was right. It is a beautiful shape indeed.
The Foundation Square has been restored to its former glory. A recognizable figure stands there, having waited for a long time.
Hey, Vertin! Did you get it done?
Yes, it went smoothly. I was expecting something more complicated. So, to get the umbrella, you only need to fill out forms.
Huh? That's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about the brave and glorious sacrifice of my Apple II. Don't you think the Foundation should compensate me with a shiny new ship?
Oh.
Oh? What do you mean, oh?
She forgot
Are
about
you
it.
saying you totally forgot about it?
Regulus closed it, offended, putting her hands on her shoulder.
Easy, Regulus. Those people are likely buried in paperwork right now. Just be patient and wait.
She twirls a golden medal between her fingers.
Lilia, how was your commendation ceremony?
They rewarded me for escorting the important item during the storm. How is delivering a scroll worthy of a reward? I'll say someone should be grateful I didn't crash into the committee building.
She tossed the medal to Regulus.
Take it. Might be useful for your alchemy.
Oh, let me see.
Regulus brings the medal to her mouth and takes a small bite.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's made of pure gold.
Thanks for the posture check, Panzer.
On behalf of the pirate community, I thank you for your remarkable contribution to alchemy.
I have one too.
Jupiter's third walks over and places another medal in Regulus's hand. Like Lily, she was awarded for helping to deliver the scroll.
Please forgive my lack of contribution, Timekeeper.
She misses the island trip because of the flowers they planted in the Foundation Square. Fortunately, the square has been restored to its original condition.
It seems the awakened woods have embraced tranquility once more. Perhaps a sign of good things to come.
I'm glad to see you back on your feet, Miss Trubis. In fact, there's a place I'd like to introduce you to. A flourishing island that survived both war and the storm. I think a talented druid like you would be of great help to them.
Sounds like a place to look forward to.
The reunion is cut short by the pirates cheering.
Nice job, Druvis. It's not as big as Lilia's, but it is made of a rare kind of metal.
This is a good start, Captain. This apple thinks we only need 300 more medals to afford a new ship.
What do you mean, chapter 4?
You read my mind, Mr. Chief Mate. When will Zeno's ceremony be held? This captain is not a fan of these ceremonies. So, could they just mail me my medal?
I don't remember chapter 4.
Did I miss something? Are we holding a medal exchanging party?
Sotheby!
Oh. Regulus rejoices at the sight of the little lady. She stretches out a hand and Sotheby immediately gets the message.
But I don't have a medal. All I have is this big round golden...
A handful of weighty jewelry is placed in Regulus's hand.
Captain, I think we can buy a new ship with this.
Regulus rocks her in a glamorous bear hug, moved to tears. Praise Sotheby, the most charitable woman in history, and realizer of the pirate community, the prime sponsor of the ingenious alchemist, and the bank vault on legs.
Regulus!
Sonata runs over panting, waving a stack of stamp papers in her hands.
The timekeeper asked me to request a new ship for you, and we have the approval. The Foundation will rebuild Apple II and pay for its maintenance. Huh?
Funny you say that, Sonetto.
The tree sways in the breeze and the sunlight streams through the leaves. It is fine weather to set sail again.
Now we have 2 new ships.
Oh, there's more? So, special note. Notifications receiving the Equilibrium umbrella. Special notice to all. The prototype of the first generation personal storm immunization device, commonly known as the Equilibrium umbrella, has been completed and validated through Miss Lucy's testing. Thank you all for your contribution and sacrifices. Everything you have done today will be forever remembered in history. Special thanks listed in alphabetical order. Miss Lucy should be first on the list, but it's in alphabetical order. It's only fair. Alec got lucky with his name on this one. Oh well, he deserved it. I'm off on vacation. I'll treat everyone later. Remember to come along. Stage 30, and now the curtain calls. She brushes off the raindrops from her shoulders and steps into the new world. The youth are sailing for a new world, while the old are saying goodbye to the world they knew.
"15 plugs. This should be enough to cover all socket types at our destination. Simone, pass me the experiment log, please."
She brushes the dust off the desk and takes a final inventory of the lab's equipment. She leaves the lights off, not needing them any longer. An urgent knock sounds from the door.
Come.
Before she finishes her prototype for human social custom, the door barges open.
Madame Lucy, is it true? Are you leaving La Place?
Yes. The inquiry is over.
Where are you heading to?
This is the decision of all parties involved.
You have got to be kidding me!
And then he pounds the table, sending the dust from the experimental into the air.
After all the incredible contributions you've made, they're suspending you? This is absolutely ridiculous! Without you, there would be no umbrella, and everyone would have died from the side effects!
But many did perish because of me. I had underestimated the danger of the ritual, and it ended up spreading uncontrollably. Did you not once have the same opinion, researcher Adler Hoffman?
The robot gives him a friendly nod.
It is surprising to see you change your mind so quickly. But that is just what Laplace needs. The spirit of rationality and self-evolution.
The documents have been filed away. Simone walks up to Lucy and takes the heavy experimental apparatus from her hands. As the dust rises from their movement, Enigma lets out a cough.
I can imagine how they came to this decision. They must have considered the backgrounds of all the employees, including their social status and race. After 8 years, we finally created an umbrella to withstand the storm. However, our methods for achieving such progress and breakthroughs were too much for some to handle.
Thanks for the stretch. Thanks for the hydrate also. Yup. We already got 2 of her. Thanks for the posture check.
People needed an outlet for their frustrations, so someone had to be held responsible for the accidents and casualties. Numerous complaints have been filed against me, accusing me of being a cold, heartless opponent of humanity. Within the Foundation, Xeno, and even here, some are starting to question the idea of having an awakened piston as a leader of Laplace. They argued about my arcane abilities, unsure if I had them under control or if they were becoming unstable and affecting my ability to make rational decisions.
The robot realized an overlooked detail.
I did give the nod to Miss Kikanya in violation of the confidentiality agreement. But ultimately, it helped people survive, and that is all that matters.
But Enigma does not pick up on this realization. He's already enraged, fist clenched in a ball.
So they're questioning your standing because you're an awakened? An arcanist? They're doubting the rationality of a machine that values technology and progress above all else? Could anything be more absurd? Even I, a human, was on the verge of giving up. It was you who convinced me to save our species.
My question is, why are you so upset? This does not affect you. In fact, you may be promoted. Laplace is setting up a new department, and you and Ulrich should have been invited to head it.
Weil das verdammt ungerecht ist! Diese Leute kennen dich nicht. Sie haben nicht mit dir gearbeitet oder dir zugehört. Und doch ernten sie freudig die Früchte deiner Arbeit, während sie dir keinen Respekt erweisen. Der einzige Grund,
When you're so
warum
mad,
du
you speak a
suspendiert
different
wirst,
language.
ist, weil du, ein Erwachter, nicht wirklich sterben kannst. Oder sie würden dir jetzt eine Ehrenmedaille auf deinem Grabstein verleihen.
Maybe you should take up that offer. At least you will get a promotion as a just reward.
Enigma opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. He wants to tell her she's wrong about him wanting the promotion, but he's too flustered and angry to speak. The robotic eyes slit pulses, and she continues on her unemotional
By
tune.
the way, Ulrich ended up receiving a medal. But like you, he was not exactly thrilled either. He is outside the committee building, refusing to eat in protest. But everyone knows how resilient the awakened can be. It is going poorly.
She shakes and sighs, deeply remorseful for her subordinate's behavior.
I will suggest that one of you take this position. No one knows this research better than the two of you.
Not a chance.
The research must progress, and you also need to ensure that the results will not be abused.
A valid concern.
Scheiße. You're right.
Enigma is caught in a fierce battle between his principles and his duties. But the robot doesn't notice these unimportant details. She nonchalantly walks over to the chair and runs a final battery check.
The punishment does not bother me, Researcher Hoffman. Power exists only in your dictionary, not mine. From the moment of my awakening, I have been unable to comprehend you creatures. And even now, that remains unchanged.
She states with no emotion added to her embellish of her delivery. Enigma's mouth falls open in shock. Meanwhile, the robot just keeps on talking.
We operate in different ways, just like how our fuels differ. But the bright side is our paths align. Whether we are creatures or machines, humans or arcanists, Most of us strive for a better life. It is this primal desire that drives progress. That is why I put on the mask of a human and work on improving my appearance and speech, all for the sake of better communication with you. Unfortunately, my efforts do not always pay off. Some say that the more human-like I appear, the more different I seem.
She shakes her head with regret.
But I am who I am, and my motivation is not to gain recognition from others. Our aligned path leads us to progress, and that is all there is to it. Thanks to the invention of the umbrella, Laplace can now resume its research unhindered. And if there is someone better qualified to lead, I am more than willing to remain a humble cog in their machine. Besides, Miss C introduced me to a beautiful resort. The lake there is rich with arcane power, perfect for an awakened arcanist like me. Not only is it a resort, but also an independent team with a good amount of freedom. My only concern is if they have adequate power supply. Oh, rust might be a problem. Perhaps I should ask Researcher X about his titanium derust machine.
The robot is happily thinking about her vacation plans. She has completed all preparations for departure.
Time to go, Simone.
Madam Lucy, please take a look at this before you go.
A stack of reports is handed in front of her.
This is a report you compiled during the storm countdown, detailing 126 side effects and how the scroll alleviates them. I have some questions about the data for Type 34.
Lucy flips it open and Julie goes through the list one last time.
Yes, I can see a few errors in here. Unfortunately, I have to complete all of the handover procedures today. Perhaps you can ask Mr. Ulrich about it later.
She hands it back to Enigma, but he does not reach for it. He looks at her, grief-stricken.
The side effects left a mark on you, didn't they? There are 162 side effects, not 126. There was also an obvious typo in the data for Type 34. We noticed it long ago and corrected it. Took only 5 seconds. You sacrificed so much for this report, yet you could not see such glaring mistakes. You called me Researcher Hoffman earlier, a name you haven't used since you took over Laplace 8 years ago. To avoid confusion with my sister, you and our colleagues started calling me Adler instead.
Moving closer, he asked grimly,
How much data did you lose to impair your research abilities like this? Is this why you have to leave Laplace now? The progress you've made has helped so many, but at what cost to your own well-being?
The robot does not answer, a rare occurrence. From her side, Simone gently takes the file for her.
We should go, Madam Lucy.
Goodbye, Researcher Adler. Thank you for correcting my mistake.
She walks away with steely steps, not looking back.
Alright, fine.
She grips the door frame, ignoring the strange look from the hallway.
I'll take up that role and do what you've been nagging me to do. I'll take care of those pesky committees. But just so you know, I'm not doing this for the higher-ups who look down on us, but for the people who look up to us from below.
footsteps continue in rhythm. Her duty here is done. Then another voice calls out.
Madame Lucy!
The corridors are bustling with people. Researchers, clerks, directors, and security. Every Laplace employee in this corridor, from bottom to top floor. The same voice shouts.
All attention! Salute!
Papers litter the air like snowflakes. Everyone says goodbye in their own language, tossing files over the railing. The countless drafts, designs, and forms from the past 24 hours rain down. They were created for the storm and have completed their mission. Just as did the robot.
Simone, why are they throwing papers at me? Are they rejecting me and banishing me?
On the contrary, madam, they are showing their reverence.
Oh, I see.
The robot is without a face and motion module today, so she turns away from the crowd. The sunlight dances on her metallic surface, enveloping her in a golden aura.
Let us go, Simone. I miss the Laplace Chargers already. There is a 230-volt bath at the resort, right?
And that's the end. I think that's what, is this chapter 7? Final replay is now available. During the event, you can re-experience the climatic final function.